So today, the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta has arrived. It is here, and I gotta say, the best thing they ever done, the only change I am loving is the new menu music. Guys, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Don't get all triggered. But we're gonna talk about the beta, my impressions so far. If you guys want a little bit of feedback, we're gonna wrap it up real quick. I was not a fan at all of the alpha. I've actually gave a lot of critiques in the alpha. So beta, I was hoping for something new, hoping for something different, want to see what changes they did, and there is more good. There is some changes that I really do appreciate, and I do feel like I'm walking out of this with a lot more good than I did with the alpha, but there's still a lot of bad things. So we're going to be starting off with the good, and one of the most surprising things is that Scorestreaks feel earnable in all modes. Now, one of the recent changes was, rewarding the multi-kills objective play. They're changing up the scoring system of how you achieve these points a bit, and it does feel so much better. This is honestly the only time in a score streak system has actually felt like it worked in TDM. I was honestly so surprised, and it was just very nice in general. Now, when it comes to time to kill, based off the alpha to this, it still feels great. There was really nothing I don't think they changed, maybe except, networking. But again, it still feel really good. Some people might say it's too quick. I'm actually the person that loves Modern Warfare's time to kill. But again, this time to kill I love as well, which is very shocking. So another thing, we're going to kind of talk about this later because it does piss me off a little bit with this feature, but the field of view slider is finally on console. I, on PC, love this feature. On console, I'm glad that it's seeing something improving. It's like embracing, it's welcoming here. It's awesome to see a field of view slider. I personally play at 100 field of view. I know some people play at different field of view. It's all personal preference. You can scale it all the way up to 120, which is great. So again, field of view is in consoles or just on all platforms in general, and I think that's such a phenomenal thing, a feature that's long overdue at this point. Now, another thing, the match just flows so much better when compared to the alpha. Now, one of my biggest complaints in the alpha was that I felt like games took forever. My recordings were showing this. I had 9-minute TDM games, 12-minute domination games. I guess 12-minute domination games are pretty standard, but every game mode was ending off 9+ minutes, and that was not good at all. Fair to say that they changed up the spawns and just how they work the spawns, which is going to be kind of a con later. But again, the spawns, they're putting you more centered in the map, which I think is just a really smart thing to do. It keeps you in the action and it keeps you going, and it just makes sure that the maps just flow much better than they do, or at least in the alpha. Now, another thing that was really impressive is that the Gunsmith went from a cosmetic item tool set from the alpha to something that feels a little bit more fleshed out and a little bit more detailed. Now, this isn't on the level of Modern Warfare at all, which, again, we have to wait and see what they can get to when launches. Again, it is fair to, kind of put a big asterisk on, this could be improved, this could not get worse, honestly. But again, it's so far a better experience when it comes to the alpha of relaying information, as well as giving us a ton of info, and as well as feeling like it has a substantial impact on your weapons. Maybe some of this has to do with the fact that in the alpha we had all these attachments, so nobody was running stock, but in general I definitely noticed that guns feel a little bit more unique per attachment, which is nice. Footsteps are also a thing in Black Ops Cold War. They nailed in the alpha, and they're continuing to nail in this game. I have my critiques with, obviously the ninja perk, but in general, footsteps, you hear them, they work, you hear them clear. It's not like as hidden it can be in Modern Warfare, so that's another good thing. And the gunfights, if you guys were a fan of the gunfights in the first alpha, the gunfights in this game still feel phenomenal. Now, onto the cons of this beta. Nothing changed with the movement at all, and it's given to the fact that I did a test myself. The field of view slider is 80, and usually I was playing at 80 because that was default in the alpha. But when I slide over and I played a game you're seeing here on screen, there literally felt like there was no substantial difference at all. The only thing they changed, which honestly was irking me as well, was camera shake on running. For some reason, there was a wobble to the look. I didn't notice in the alpha, but if they increased it, I definitely noticed it this time around in the beta, and I was not a fan of it at all. It was honestly irking me beyond belief. The camera shake was, masking the fact that you were moving the same speed. And again, this could be an aesthetic thing, but I'm almost certain I might pull a side-by-side up right now. The movement based off 80 field of view, because obviously the alpha is 80 field of view, this is 80 field of view on default, it didn't feel at all substantially different. and it was kind of something they hinted at, we're going to talk about later, that was going to be changing. So I think the field of view was just a lazy cop-out, even though it's a great feature, of masking the fact that the movement system still is very, very subpar compared to Modern Warfare. Now, another thing, the new Cartel Map, it's atrocious, and when it comes to the map design of this game, again, I don't like every map in Modern Warfare at all either, so just because I love Modern Warfare doesn't mean I like the maps, but the Cartel Map, didn't like. The Miami map, I do not like. The Combined Arms maps, I didn't like at all. So when it comes to me liking maps, the only two maps I like is Moscow and Satellite. And that's not a good sign because I'm worried how I'm going to enjoy the rest of the maps. So again, it is what it is. We got to wait and see what the other maps perform like. And this next one, it's kind of subjective. It's kind of opinionated, you can kind of say, but camping isn't a Modern Warfare issue. I was getting camped so hard by people. It was honestly ridiculous. But again, it is what it is. We got to deal with it. It's a Call of Duty thing. It's not a Modern Warfare thing. So I think as a community, as we recognize it not as a game thing and more of a community thing, well, I think we'll address the issue better. Now, another thing, this is me glancing over the weapons. I'm getting, and obviously seeing this kill streaks, nothing changed on that regard. You know, I'm fearing a lack of weapons and kill streaks. Now, Modern Warfare did have a substantial amount of weapons and kill streaks in the game. This looks like it's coming up short by a good margin, and I'm not really a fan of that. I'm really worried about that. We only see 4 assault rifles, and I'm like, what? There's no hints of any other assault rifle being added in the game. Granted, post-content release, they can add more assault rifles, but again, right now, I'm not seeing any more weapons being added. The stuff that was grayed out is being visible, but there's no other grayed out stuff that we cannot see, which I'm not happy about. Now, this last thing I'm going to be talking about is a tweet from Tony Flame. Now, this is one of the developer leads at Treyarch. I think he's honestly a great person to follow. He has a very, very smart insights, and he's honestly the best figure in Treyarch to follow. I'm not a fan of Van der Hart. I never liked Van der Hart, but Tony Flame has been making a name for himself when it comes to his information, communication with the community, and in general, he definitely is the spot to get information that you want to know, because even Treyarch, you know, doesn't release everything this guy says. So he's definitely giving you a lot of insights on the game. Definitely give him a follow on Twitter. But he came out this tweet on my birthday. I was pretty excited about it because I was like, yo, we're going to be seeing something improving, massive improvements with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And this tweet reads as follows: the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is quite an upgrade over the alpha. I don't think anyone quite realizes what this team can do in a short amount of time. From new features to the core feel, nearly everything has taken leaps forward. My favorite part though, the new lobby music kicks in. Now, again, new lobby music is pretty dope. I like it a lot. Fits the 80s theme. But when it comes to, you know, things taking a leap forward, I do not agree at all with those statements. I don't feel like this took leaps forward. They made minor improvements when it came to score streaks, you know, the match flow of a game. But my main issues is how it feels as movement system, and just when it comes to just, you know, in-depth content amongst weapons and attachments. You know, so far they're lacking that right now, especially when it comes to content of the amount of weapons. But again, my biggest issue has been the movement system, and that is not really being addressed. It hasn't been addressed. I don't see it being addressed. I know they talked about it, they recognize it, but again, I think it's one of these core foundation issues that is something that Treyarch just can't fix. It's something they can't go, you know, in this minor time span before this game releases without delaying the game. They can't fix this issue, and it's something we're gonna have to get used to and learn with. But again, I'm not a fan of the movement system. It's my biggest critique. So again, this is not bashing the guy at all. I think, you know, he's done some good stuff, but when he says this tweet about this beta being leaps forward, I don't see that at all. And don't get your hopes up when you enter this beta thinking it's gonna be substantially different from the alpha. You're gonna hurt your impression of this game. Like, this game so far has been hurt by my impression of, again, if you have low expectations compared to the alpha and you never saw his tweet, I think you're gonna be perfectly fine. But again, it's not leaps forward, it's minor improvements, and it's good improvements nonetheless. I do think it's a better state of game when compared to the first alpha, or just the alpha in general, the first time we ever saw this game. But again, they have tons of work to do, and when it comes to just longevity of this multiplayer game, I don't know how it's gonna last. I think Warzone's gonna have to carry this hard, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, see how Zombies plays. I'm very excited about Zombies. But with that being said, that's pretty much all I gotta say on my beta impressions. I think this is like way longer than I anticipated. So if you guys enjoyed it, definitely subscribe for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War stuff. And if you enjoy this video as well, drop this video a like, helps out the video a lot. And again, these are my opinions, these are my impressions. If you guys want to comment, let me know what you guys feel of this game. Let me know down in the comment section below. We can have a discussion. You know, obviously I respect your opinion. Hope you respect my opinion. With that being said, hope you guys have a good one. Shannon G here, and I'm out.